Welcome back to the Big Blue Lifers podcast. I'm Mr. U. That's Jess. We're here to talk all things New York Football Giants, and my God, it's it's going to be a trying episode. But first off, before we get into all of the fun conversation, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you.
What's going on, brother? Everything okay? Besides the obvious, you all right?
Been applying for some apartments, trying to move out, reach that, hit that stage of, the next chapter, as it were. So that's been exciting. Certainly been more pleasant than watching the Giants this year so far.
Apartment hunting is more fun than watching your favorite football team. That can't be a good thing.
Yeah. Having discussions about brokers' fees and amenity taxes, all of that is infinitely more pleasant than the New York Giants.
Well, normally I'm not saying I am, but sometimes I try to be a voice of reason on this show and try to bring perspective.
You're certainly more optimistic and a lot less doom and gloom than I've been, but I think you're coming around to my neck of the woods.
I'm done with that.
Yeah,
that's over. Because after week 5, week 4, no, yeah, after week 4, I don't know.
The week they just played was week 5. The week we just played.
I know that. I'm talking about the Chargers was week 4, right?
Yeah.
That happened. So, okay, I see some promise here. There's some things that I didn't care for, but I see we can put some stuff together. I just forgot a few factors. And it's not at all to do with Jackson Dart. I hold him totally not accountable because he's a rookie. What do you expect? But it's the other stuff. Things I think is like, wow. How, as a coach, do you not have your team ready for any situation? So it goes back to my complaint from week 4 on our show. We were doing a review. I said, this coaching thing, we're not able to get past the obvious things. And now, the game that you and I both thought was a shoo-in for the Giants to win. Guess what happened? They not only didn't win, but they turned the ball over 5 consecutive times, embarrassed themselves to the point that even announcers are like, I don't even understand what's happening right now. What are we seeing? These guys are seasoned veterans who've been not only on the microphone, but also on the same football field these guys are playing on. And they have no idea how to explain. That's where we're at right now. Well, seasoned football minds can't explain what they're seeing. And you mentioned something to that effect a couple of weeks ago. I'm at the place now where I can't even explain it. I'm done. There's nothing else to explain. They can come back next week or Thursday and they can come out and they could demolish the Eagles. And I'm still gonna sit here like, I don't know who this is. I don't know who we are. We can't continue like this. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to take the floor because you have the majority of this episode. So go ahead and have fun with it, brother.
Believe me, I've got plenty to say.
Go for it.
One of the things that has made so much of this past era, essentially, of Giants football for most of the last 10 years, as unbearable as it's been, isn't just that the Giants have been bad. It has been they have been cartoonish in doing so. Evan Neal, people talk about Evan Neal so much because there were points where he was blocking his own guys. He was just standing out there, no one around, not doing anything. And that would be a better rep for him. Jackson Dart on one of these possessions, and again, he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. But the one inexcusable mistake he had was as he's going to tuck the ball just poof right out of his hands. Darius Slayton and I got into it a little bit, not like an argument back and forth, but like just kind of a discussion. Darius Slayton has never had a fumbling issue. He's had some issues with drops in the past, but this drop rate has gone down pretty much every year. And now all of a sudden we need it again after we pay him. After we finally give him the extension he's been asking for, we need him to step up in a game, and that is what he does. It is so mind-boggling. And then again, to add salt to the wound, everybody who leaves pretty much goes off and is like, well, look at me now. Daniel Jones is an MVP candidate. Daniel Jones, a guy who was so bad, we had to bench him. And, like, I don't understand it. Like, what is it that is in MetLife Stadium, in the Giants side of the line? Well, I guess the Jets too, because they certainly didn't look good this weekend either. Like, what is going on in MetLife that Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland come over here and are just this bad? Like, they are ranked in of 140 or so defensive backs. They're like 110 and 120 respectively. Like, I don't. The coaching clearly is to blame for a good chunk of it. That much is like, there's no defending Dable anymore. Like, Shane
Done.
I think he has to go. Again, I've liked the reasoning behind a lot of his decisions, but he has not delivered the way he's needed to. But I think at the end of the day, this loss is on coaching. We finally have an offensive line that can pass block, and no one's getting open. They can't scheme up anything easy for Dart. When they had whatchamacallit, when they had those 2 touchdown drives, they were utilizing a lot of 2 tight end sets. They were, working a lot of safety blanket routes. And then what do they do after that? Immediately just goes away from it. We have it in 4th and 2 on their 40-yard line. Punt the ball. He's coaching scared. And that moment in the first half, when we punted on 4th and 2, I think it was after the flea flicker fell short, I turned to my buddy, despite the fact that I think we were either up 14-3 or 14-6 at that point, and I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "We are losing this game. We are losing this game." And lo and behold. But again, other teams will be bad, but they aren't clown shows. The Giants are a clown show. And that is, I think, at the end of the day, the biggest issue with this team. They have no direction. We've got all of this talent, and the coaching staff doesn't know what to do with it. And we're going to need a clean house. But now, of course, it's going to be a year too late, because now there's no Mike Vrabel available. We might get lucky and get John Harbaugh if the Ravens truly fall apart and they fire him. But there's no guarantee that happens. And so, I don't know, man. Like, it's another year where we're going to be looking, we're already looking at mock drafts and possible available hires, because this is our next slate of games. Eagles, loss. Broncos, loss. Eagles, loss. Niners, loss. Bears, maybe, but probably loss. Packers, loss. Lions, loss. Patriots, going into the season, I thought that was a game we might win. Definitely not now. Loss. Home for the Commanders, going to be a loss. Vikings, probably a loss. Raiders are the only game on the schedule that I look at and say, maybe we've got a shot.
I'm not doing anything like that.
And again,
lost to the Saints, dude.
there's a very real chance the Giants go 1-16 this year. And somehow we're going to end up with pick 5.
This is unbelievable.
I don't know how long Dable lasts. I don't know. I don't know.
Is that one of our questions today? Because I can answer that right now. He's not going to make it. There's no way he can make it.
To the end of the year?
No. Not possible. If Shane does, I'll be surprised. I know for sure Daboll, there's no way he's going to be able to make it. Because most of the stuff that we've seen that was truly ugly, it was coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Saints, the reason why we had them pick to beat them in the preseason, and we did it emphatic, we didn't even say, maybe there's a chance that Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck could beat. We never even gave it an opportunity. It was never even on our board. We counted that as a W automatically. And they got beat by 2 scores out there. We rushed more than they did, and it still wasn't enough because we didn't run the scatter ball anywhere near enough.
No,
they threw the ball more than we did, which is like we're talking about Spencer Rattler here. I mean, besides the deep threat to Rashid Shaheed, they threw the ball way more than we did. The whole point of this is that at this point now, you can't even say the Raiders are going to be an automatic win. You can't even say that.
I didn't say they're automatic. I said maybe they could beat the Raiders.
I'm not even saying maybe because I don't even feel good about that.
No, I don't either.
You can't beat the Saints. Why can they not beat us too? Ugly stuff going on. The turnovers, that was super ugly. 5 consecutive, that was ugly stuff right there. I don't even understand how they even explain. I love your points about Slayton. Love that. And all the people who are, I wish they were listening right now. All the folks that were flooding my Facebook and my Twitter page talking about pay Slay and all this stuff. And I wish I was paying attention to this right now and said, okay, this is what we're paying for. Our number 1 is gone. Here's his chance right here. And although he was reliable and dependable for the majority of his time with us, this right here, it just felt like it was an ending to me. Like, you know what? We're on the other side of this thing. Whatever this thing's going to be with his Giants career, we're on the other side of this thing. On top of that, hold on, man, because you.
No. Like I'm 1,000% agreeing with you. It's just so frustrating because my point is, once, like I said earlier, of course we hit this point with Slayton after we pay him, and now he's going to be like a $15 million, $16 million cap hit. Like, of course that happens to us. Of course.
I'm trying to find out what else can we get a player to get struck by lightning? I mean, what else can? There's nothing left.
I truly don't know. Like, what worse? How much worse can it get?
I can't take it. I'm turning into Jet Saban, and I don't think I like this.
I don't like it.
I want to be me. I want to be Jet Saban. I want to be me.
We need someone to be an optimist on this podcast.
Now I'm talking like you. This is unbelievable. I mean, let me finish with this horror show list here. So besides the turnovers, which is abysmal, honestly, those 5 turnovers don't happen. I'm not surprised if we don't beat the Saints with that one. Those 5 were murder. That was death right there for us. On top of that, we're going to add the penalties. I mean, we're still doing that. And I'm like, is that not coaching? Who we blame that on? 8 penalties for 95 yards. We were giving them yardage. It was just dumb stuff. Then on top of that, here we are with that 3rd down. So I ain't going to the red zone. I might explode. I'm going to stay on the third down for today. 7-15, 46% on 3rd down. We couldn't get that thing done. I mean, and this is against the Saints. It's not against some elite team. We're going to really get ramrodded on Thursday night. If that stuff is not fixed, we're going to get smoked. And they might even have Saquon. He might still get smoked. This is unbelievable. So, like you said, it's a cartoon, it's a clown show, and it just feels like it's just like bad things are just happening and piling up on this team. And I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't know how. It's like this: if you move to your new apartment, right, and you realize one day you're sitting there watching the game and you see little roaches on the side of the wall, right? You go ahead and get the spray. You take care of that, right? You go upstairs to bed. You see some more roaches. You can go ahead and spray those too. You might not think nothing more about it. You wake up in the morning to go to work, and they're all over the whole house. You can spray, you can invest in all the rage you want to, but at some point, you know what you got to do? You got to blow that house up. It has to be that. That's what this is. And I hate to say that because I was an advocate for that not being the case. I was thinking more about a reshuffling than I was an actual full out rebuilding. I never said those words. I never thought we ever had to do that. I'm looking at this thing now. I'm like, now I'm not sure. You got Thomas, who right now he's healthy right now, but I mean, he's more trade bait than anything right now because you can't be sure he's going to stay healthy. You got Slayton, big cap hit now, and the man ain't really doing anything for us. And he needs me because right now he's neighbor's sidekick right now. We need him, and he's not coming through. I'm saying Dart's a rookie. I got no problem with him. I want him to learn, even if he got to go through the trials and the fire. We talked about that early in the season. I'm exempting his name out of my mouth when it comes to blaming him for stuff. I don't care if he made a mistake yesterday.
He made one bad mistake, and that was the fumble. Neither of those interceptions were like, one was a fourth down where he was flushed out of the pocket, so he had to throw it. He had to make a play, happened to be picked, so it was more of an arm punt, not bad. And then the second one was Bo Collins stopped running his route. So
he's the only person on this team I can think of right now. Besides maybe a couple of other, like maybe Abdul Carter, some other ones, who I'm not putting their names on my lips in a negative way. I'm cool with them learning whatever they got to do, but for the most part, this got to be blown up. And it's like, this is epic right here. What you said about being one for whatever, that could potentially happen to us. That's a horrible scenario because not only going to be more of a laughing stock than we were last year, but now we're going into the draft. We don't need to get a quarterback, thank God, but we're going to be going in to get hoping Jaden Proctor's going to be there, and will he be the answer to the question if he is there? We got to do something with the O-line because we got to do way more with the O-line than we did last time. We can't do what we did last year. We got to get O-line guys help for real. We got to somehow remake the image of being a player for the New York Giants, and people want to even come there as free agents. That's a hard sell, especially if management doesn't change that much. We got to get almost everybody out of there and start. It's like the only way. Bringing new GM. I mean, everybody but the owner, new GM, new head coach, new D-line coach, probably offensive coordinator too. I'm not even down with Kafka at this point. I'm done with everybody.
We need to absolutely clean house.
So when that happens, and I don't know if today's episode for that. I don't have the bandwidth for it, but we're gonna have to start talking about who's that going to be. I'm getting ready to start doing some mock drafts in a little while for real.
I've been doing mock drafts. This is one of those drafts where, because we don't have a quarterback, being that there's a very real chance we go 1-16 and finish with the number one pick in the draft, we need to trade that pick. Like, there's only one guy in this draft that I think, if we have the number one pick based on our needs, and you're just taking best player available, barring, one of these quarterbacks just looking absolutely phenomenal and we can get something for Dart or something like, again, but that is not how I am approaching this. Caleb Downs is the only true mega star, it looks like, in this upcoming draft. He's a safety. I have no idea how he's going to be valued, where people think he's going to be drafted to.
Where's he projected at?
He's a projected top 5 pick, Caleb Downs. Right now, Tankathon with their mock draft has Caleb Downs going number 2 to the Browns. So, but if we have the number 1 pick, I say we trade back, get a ton of assets, maybe even trade back again, depending on what we need and how the draft is shaping out, and we need my top needs for the Giants: wide receiver, interior offensive line, linebackers. Because I think, and I don't know if this is going to sound crazy.
It already sounds crazy.
But when we get to the trade deadline this year, I want them to see about trading Russ, obviously. I think they should try and trade Bobby Okereke, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, Evan Neal, Deonte Banks. What can we get from them? If they're 6th-round picks, okay, cool. If we can get like a 4th rounder for Bobby Okereke, a 4th rounder for Wan'Dale Robinson, guys that, well, obviously we're going to get rid of them. They're going to be great for whomever they go to, but we just need to get something for them because they're not doing anything here. Go out there, bring up Isaiah Hodgins, Lil Jordan Humphrey, sign Odell, fill out that wide receiver room with just bodies to make it to the end of the year. Everybody gets fired. Approach this draft with as many assets as possible. Let the next guy it's not going to happen.
That stuff.
There's no chance it happens. But if I was if they fired
you gotta try
Shane and I was placed in charge, that is how I would approach this.
I'm gonna be trying to fire a whole bunch of. For me, the only guys I don't want to
at least we're getting something for it.
These are the guys that I would keep around and just see what we got with this. I would keep Dart, obviously. I would keep Theo Johnson. I would keep Scatterbo. I would keep Fedone. Excuse me.
I'd keep Bellinger.
We'll come back to that. I'll keep Dex. I'll keep Spider. Kayvon, he's already with us, so you might as well go ahead and just hold on a little while longer. I want to say Adebo and Ruben and Holland, but my God, you gotta look at their money. But for me, my heart wise, just putting contract aside, y'all can all be out.
Well,
y'all can all be out because
trading Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo is just fiscally impossible unless we.
You heard me say contract notwithstanding, right? You heard me say that, right?
Oh, I actually didn't hear you say that.
Yeah. This is just my heart right here. I'm not talking about the contract.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
right. I'm done.
The only guys that I think we should absolutely keep, no matter what, Dex. Starting on defense. 1 second, I'm about to sneeze again. Allergies, man. On offense, Andrew Thomas, because when he is healthy, he is phenomenal, and he has been phenomenal since coming back. Jermaine Illuminor, Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger, Fedone, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbo, Jackson Dart. And I think that's it for offense. And I'm about to sneeze again. Oh, my God. 1 sec.
I ain't saying Malik because who knows when he's going to play next year. We don't know what that kind of injury is not. It's not always so simple, but it's not an MCL tear, so perhaps he'll still be able to play starting 2026. But man, I'm just basically just done. I just kind of feel like we gotta make some changes across the board and just reshape the image. We got to bring some dogs in, guys that ain't afraid to go all out, man. And for Burns Beverage, that something you said, and I'm not really burned up at you. I'm just burned up at the fact that you're right about this. It just feels like it doesn't. When it happens to us, it's like it just seems like it's just different. When they happen to a different team, it's like with us, it's just like it's magnified. Like it's just so much more worse, so much more buffoonish. I just watched the game last night. I watched the game last night of people who were just balling, man. And they just had the attitude to go with it. They were just dogs out there. And they were, I mean, in the game went the way it went, but they were just balling. They were just dogs. They didn't even care. They were just like, I got something to prove, and it showed it. When I look at our players, I don't see that. I see a lot of foot dragging. I see guys that don't seem to be totally into it. I'm like, okay, so now you got Dart over Wilson. You got the guy you wanted. You had slumped over shoulders when Russ was in there. You got Dart. It's the guy you wanted. You've been waiting for him. And you come out here, sometimes still looking sluggish, bad body language, the miscues, just not being in the right place. I'm like, who do we have to bring inside here to turn this thing around? Who do we need to bring? I'm just frustrated, man. I don't have no stats to give y'all today. I'm sorry. I'm not even my normal self. I ain't got no stats to give you. I don't have no fancy nuances, man. I'm just tired, dude. And this is week 5? Oh,
dude,
y'all playing like bums. Like y'all.
I don't know. Maybe again, I'm a Giants fan. We're Giants fans, so we are biased, and we can only pay attention to so much around the league. But the only level of cartoonishness that I remember, not on the Giants, is like Will Levis with Tennessee. Like there was a meme of the week every week with him. Like a new Will Levis image would drop about something absolutely insane he was doing, and he looked ridiculous. And then like some of the stuff with those really heinously bad 2010s Browns teams, some of those really heinously bad Detroit Lions teams of the late 2000s, early 2010s. Well, really, I guess mainly the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s before they got Stafford, and even a little bit with Stafford. But like, again, it's not helped that here we are once again, and another guy leaves and is phenomenal elsewhere. It just makes it look that much worse. And there's only so much energy you can give. Like I don't think I'm going to be watching the game on Thursday. I'm going to a cooking class with my company because it's just, I want to be happy for a change. Like, good Lord, man. It's so bad.
Honest, I don't think my BP can take that game. So I don't know what I'm going to watch. I'm almost positive it's not going to be that game. Without Barkley, they probably end up doubling up on the. That's where the New York Football Giants are right now. I don't know how to explain this. All I can say is, you know what? I'm putting most of the onus on the coaching and saying you guys are not preparing your guys. That for some reason they're not receiving what you have to say, or they're coming out there, they don't look like they should look if they expect to win games. I see. If it wasn't the fact that I was dating myself here again, if it wasn't for the fact I've seen so many Giants games, I've seen so many Giants players, legends that I say their name, you're like, oh wow. If I say names, I mean, he's not the first thing to come to mind, but he does. But I think he's a legend. Guys like Sean Landeta, Phil Simms, Mark Bavaro, Harry Carson, Lawrence Taylor, Eli Manning, Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, O.C. Umenyiora. Matter of fact, even Matthias Kiwanuka, Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs, Tiki Barber. When these guys come on the field, even with the challenges they had, I never looked like they were out there dogging it. I never felt like they weren't trying. I didn't see their shoulders slump. The only person who even looked at it a little bit was Eli, and I still believed in him, despite the faces in the
That was also because Eli was just Eli. Like, that was just him. Like, you never really – it was incredibly rare to see him show any actual emotion. So it wasn't like him being a little slumped over was some new thing. It was just his face and his body posture.
This is not what it's supposed to look like. This falls on coaching, man. I honestly, I can't even preview the Eagles and the Giants game, man.
I have no desire to either. I just some names, I guess, that'll be interesting to Giants fans. Start following some college football. Some names, like we mentioned earlier, Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State. Peter Woods, defensive lineman, Clemson. Francis Mauigoa, offensive tackle of Miami. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State. Gerard McCoy, corner, Tennessee, as well as Avion Terrell, corner, Clemson. Then you got some other wide receivers like Carnell Tate at Ohio State and Makai Lemon at USC. For linebackers, Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker at Texas. Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, both linebackers at Ohio State. Really good. At the interior offensive line,
you've got Ohio State players on the team. This is how desperate my situation is right now. I'm going to have Ohio State players. by all means, please, if you guys can come in, if you guys can help us, by all means, please come one, come all. I'm saying that this is pure desperation coming out of me right now. It's insane.
You've got guys like Connor Liu and Jake Slaughter, both centers, Auburn and Florida, respectively. Vega Leoan, I believe, is a guard out of Penn State. Parker Brailsford, guard, Alabama. Iapani Lalololu, center out of Oregon. Armaj Reed Adams, guard out of A&M. So those are a bunch of names that I just listed off. Start following some of those guys. They're going to be probably some of the top names come the offseason.
Mock draft. I'm getting ready to get on that mock draft train just a little bit. I'm already like, wow. There's nothing for me to see here. There's nothing that can happen. It's gonna be like, you know what? I got faith in this coaching staff. There's nothing that can happen. I think I'm pretty confident. There's nothing that they can do.
I wonder how much cap space we're really going to be able to free up this offseason. See what we can do in free agency.
If they approach it the way you just named, and even add some of the guys that I named that you didn't name, it'd be super helpful. It'd be super helpful.
I know we normally aim for an hour on these. I just don't have too much more to say.
I don't have it. And this is another point about, I guess I made this my final point, unless you stir the pot some more. I'm watching. This is no offense, and I mean no harm to the Patriots fans. It's not my intention to offend. But honestly, when we were doing preseason stuff, every show I was doing preseason stuff, you know where they were in the rankings for their division? Dead last. People had them 3-14. Period. Nobody felt different about it. Nobody even had them in third place in their division. These guys, even though that's just one win, it's a division rival, which is really important. But they played with the kind of heart that you wouldn't expect from guys that basically no real name. You don't know no Pop Douglas. I know him, but most people know who no Pop Douglas is. They don't know who most of the guys on that team is. The reason why I know Hunter Henry is because he was on the Chargers and I follow the Chargers. Beside him and Stephon, you don't know who none of them people are. And nobody thought Drake May was going to be doing nothing on that level yet. And they played no frill guys out here on both sides of the ball, excluding Christian Gonzalez, who's finally healthy. Grateful for that. Played their guts out. So why did I bring that up? Just to say this. If we get rid of guys and it's not financially feasible for us, but we just get rid of guys and just take the hit and just bring guys in that want to play with some heart, we can do that and then some under the right leadership. It just happens to be that Dayball and Shane don't seem to be the right leadership. I'd rather have a guy who is playing with heart than a guy who is projected to be super talented, who can't turn his head or just runs out there dogging it, slumped shoulders and not putting any effort in. I don't want nobody like that. I'd rather have guys that play with heart and may not be as talented. We can still win with them guys. You know how many guys in the league are out there on teams that have players like that, where they don't have no big names, but they got guys that are maybe a little bit less talented, not super number ones and stuff, and they have to play their guts out and they winning games? It's all over the league, man. Do some research. It's all over the league. You can look at the Dolphins, the Patriots. Matter of fact, it's all over the AFC. You can see it all over the place. Not even including the NFC, which is there as well. You get a game with the 49ers. The guys are a match unit. And they came out here, we had Mac Jones in the grave. I personally had a shoveling through dirt on top of him myself, to be honest about it. Went up there and played their guts out with a skeleton crew. And we got guys supposed to be talented. We paid good money for. You look like trash out there. Tell me where I lied.
You didn't lie once.
I'm done, man. Just don't make no sense. This is all the daggers are going toward Dayball and Shea right now. I'm sorry. I'm blaming them for everything. The whole thing. I'm blaming y'all. If we get rid of y'all and maybe we can do something else different. It's them. It's them and their coaching crew, man. All right. What else you got, man? In the show, however you want to. I'm done.
The only thing, I mean, we haven't even really touched on it. And I'm debating if I even want to bring it up because I really don't want to discuss it because it's just another, like, what is wrong with this organization? You know that every roster is supposed to have 53 players on it. We entered this game with 51 active players. We could have activated 2 more. They chose not to. Could have had a third running back. Could have activated like Turbo Miller. Could have activated Lil Jordan Humphrey, brought him up. Could have brought in another defensive tackle, linebacker. Could have done something. And they chose not to. And I could not even begin to tell you why. It makes no sense. There is no benefit to it. None whatsoever. And they just chose not to. Like, oh no, you bring up Turbo Miller and you give him 3 snaps and he doesn't do anything. What did he do? At least yet, no one can say you didn't try. And here they are, not even trying. And it's the little things. Like having an actual full roster that separates the worst team in football from just a run-of-the-mill, mediocre, bad team. And we are maybe the worst team in football. And whoever we bring in for next year, I just hope they can field a full 53-man roster week to week. Because apparently this regime can't. I got nothing else to say.
This, I guess I made this the last words that I was really done until you started that stuff. But the person that comes in, or the people that come in, I know I said this to you last week, but I'm gonna say it one more time, and we're gonna go ahead and get out of here for real this time. They got to be somebody who got some cojones, somebody who has some kind of credence in this league. Because anybody who come in, I'm just happy for an opportunity, Mr. Mayor. That person will have in another 10 years of purgatory. You need somebody that's like, you know what? I'm not married to none of y'all. I know y'all came in, chop, piece, and whatever, but I'm bringing in my guys and get all them guys up out of there, that the ones that we named that need to, the ones that we didn't name that need to stay. They can stay, but the rest of them, they got to go. They got to clean house and start fresh. But the talent that we didn't name, that we think are really talented, that's a better core than most places have. So I don't want to lose that. But them other guys, we can improve and do better than in all them areas. I'm even including Darius Alexander in that. And I was on his side for a minute. I'm like, no, everybody. So that's just where I'm at, man. But I'm Mr. U. That's just, we are on the rope right now, and all it takes is one more TKO. I think we're pretty much done. We're going to look at some mock drafts now. See you later.